Welcome to Girl, You Better Preach, the podcast for women by women with real issues. Hosted by Tesha D. Colston, this show brings honest and unfiltered conversations about faith, finances, and relationships, the topics that truly matter. Whether you're in the church or out in the world, you'll get real talk that's uplifting, relatable, and empowering. Join us each week for stories, testimonies, practical advice, and inspiring discussions that will have you shouting, "Girl, you better preach."
Hey girlfriends, welcome to the very first episode of Girl, You Better Preach. It's the podcast for women, by women with real issues and real talk. And I'm your host, Tesha D. Colston, and I'm so excited to kick off this journey with you. This podcast is all about having honest, unfiltered conversations about the things that we as women deal with every day, like faith, finances, relationships, and just life in general. Now, let's be real for a second. Sometimes these are topics, there are topics that we don't always get to talk about openly, especially within the church or around certain people. Am I right? But that's exactly why we're here. This is your space. This is our space to keep it real and get into the stuff that matters to us. And each week I'm going to be sharing with you solo episodes like this one, where I'm talking directly to you about real life. I'm inspiring you about real life. I'm empowering you in your life journey. I'll also be bringing on some amazing guest speakers. Not too sure of the frequency just yet, but I'll be bringing them on at least once a month. These are going to be women who are out here making a difference in their communities, making a difference in their churches, making a difference in their homes, making a difference in other people's lives. We're going to get into the challenges. We're going to get into the triumphs. We're going to get into everything in between, because let's face it, we have all got a story to tell. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what we can expect around here. We'll be talking about faith, how to keep pushing when things get tough, how to stay connected to God when, even when life is a mess, because it gets messy sometimes. Am I right? We're going to talk about finances because, girl, I know the struggle. And we'll be talking about, or breaking down managing money, building wealth, breaking those financial strongholds, and coming against that spirit of poverty. And of course, we're going to be talking about relationships, whether it's family ships, friendships, romantic ships. We're going to touch on it all, because we know that sometimes those are the areas that really stretch our faith, and we don't talk about them in the church, and we don't talk about them around certain people. Look, my goal for this podcast is that you leave each episode feeling empowered, inspired, and ready to say, "Girl, she preached that." But whether, we're talking about overcoming obstacles, finding peace in the middle of chaos, or just leveling up in life, I want this to be a show that is going to be real for you, and it's all going to be for you. So here's what I need you to do. First, subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You're not going to want to miss out on these conversations. And while you're at it, share this with your girls. Share it with your sister friends. Anyone who you know needs to hear this message. And then I also want to hear from you. What are the topics that are on your heart? What do you want to hear more about? Head over to our social media or send me a message, and let's keep this conversation going. This isn't just my show. It's our show. So let's make it something that speaks to where we are and where we're going together. All right, ladies, that's it for today's episode, but I can't wait to get started on this journey with you. Remember, this is the place for real talk, real faith, and real growth. So until we meet again, keep pushing, keep praying. And as always, girl, remember, you better preach.